What up, my people, and welcome back to another episode of LoudAF. Of course, this is a show that you can check out every single week as we break down all of the things that are going down in the sports world around the DMV and beyond. We got a very special show for you here today. We're going to revisit my trip to Sidwell Friends School, where I took a trip with that Sidwell boys tennis team. We'll check that out. We're also going to look back at Jump DC performing at Howard University, a big stage for some outstanding young ladies. We've got a special guest in the building. The one and only Road Warrior is going to drop by LoudAF here today, but we're going to get the show started with a digital content producer, Sylvia Mpofe, coming in for a new segment. Hello. This is called Bossy or Saucy with Sil. Sil, how you doing on this Saturday morning?
I'm good. I don't know where that name came from, but here we are, right?
Bossy or Saucy with Sylvia. What we're going to do here, we are going to take a look at some of the things that have gone down in the sports world throughout the week, and then Sil, me and you will talk about it. We'll communicate. We will decide whether it was a saucy move or a bossy move. Let's do it.
Okay, by the time I come in here next week, or next time I come in here, I want to have some signs.
So you want to, they're going to fly up on the screen, saucy or bossy.
I would like that.
Let's go.
Okay, first topic that we're discussing.
Yes.
Obviously, this is something that everybody saw. LeBron James versus Stephen A. Smith sideline at the end of that Lakers game. Yeah. If you're not aware of the incident, I don't know how you're not aware. Get on the internet. But essentially, Stephen A. Smith basically told us that LeBron basically approached him and said, watch your mouth when you're talking about my son.
He walked up on him,
being Bronny James. Yeah. He did walk up on him at the end of that game. Some people wondering, was LeBron James appropriate and the right for doing it? Was Stephen A. Smith deserving of that? Was that unprofessional in that situation? What do you think? Bossy or saucy?
On behalf of LeBron or on behalf of Stephen A. Smith? Which?
What you choose.
Okay.
Dealer's choice.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to make my choice here. I'm going to say that this was on behalf of one LeBron King James. A saucy move, bro. This was a saucy move on behalf of one King James. Now, yes, you look at it, I'm a father, so I know what it is, and my son's only 5 years old, but I don't even like it when the kids in his pre-K school look at my son the wrong way. I might roll up on a parent if they look at him the wrong way, so I understand as a parent where it is that you're coming from. Right. But the thing of it is, Sylvia, is that his son is now a professional athlete. His son makes millions of dollars every year. And you know what Stephen A. Smith gets paid for?
To critique that.
To talk about the sports. He's getting paid. He's not only getting paid a little bit. Stephen A. Smith just signed a contract. He's making over $20 million a year to do just this, to talk about individuals such as LeBron James and such as his son. So I don't have a problem with LeBron having a problem with Stephen A. Smith, but as a man, a successful man, one of the biggest names in the world, call that man, bro.
See, and that's where I have to interject because obviously I think LeBron is wearing a double hats here. You know, he's a professional NBA player, but he's also a father, and obviously now his son is his co-worker and such. You know, that is his job. But when someone feels disrespected or you publicly said something about them that they feel like you wronged them, I don't think he's completely out of pocket to pull him to the side and confront him about it. Now, mind you, we don't necessarily know the specs of it. I know Stephen A. said that LeBron knows how to get in touch with him if he wanted to. But I mean, have you ever heard on site? It's wherever you're at, you know what I mean? You see somebody, you go pull them to the side, I saw them, versus, oh, wait, let me find some time to sit down and call this man and discuss what's going on. No, I think LeBron really has the attitude. It's what you want on site. I saw him. I saw my target. I'm going to address you right now. I'm not going to act like I didn't see you. I saw you. We saw each other, so I'm going to walk up to you and say something. What I do wish is that Stephen A. Talked about it the next day, saying, I knew he was coming to me as a father, so I didn't want to pursue it. But what I would have said in a different instance, but you had the opportunity to say something then, you didn't have to wait and be like, if I would have seen, if we would have had the phone call, because it's harping on the idea that LeBron was in fact out of pocket for approaching him that time. But you did have the opportunity. After LeBron said what he had to say, you easily could have been like, hey, you have my number. I would have preferred for us to have this conversation outside of this. I don't feel like he could have said what he needed to say and got that off his chest in that time.
I see you went with the reference on sight for those of you watching who may not know that street dialogue. That means that when you see somebody, it's going down right then and right there.
You know.
Again, as we get ready to move to the next topic, I have no issue with LeBron James being upset with wanting to defend his son, despite the fact that his son is a second-round draft pick who got a fully guaranteed contract making millions of dollars.
I have to stop you there because I remember we talked about this the other day, and you said that who else has done this? We decided to look at some data, and we found that Maxwell Lewis actually signed a similar deal as Bronny James in the 2023 NBA draft.
We're going to have to look up those numbers to see
I'm just saying, you know, we're going to go to the data. We're going to go to the data. That's what the data says.
Okay.
That's what the data says. Bronny is not one. He's not one of one. Other people have gotten similar deals with similar skills and similar pickings in the draft. So
Bossy or Saucy, we pulling out stats and numbers, analytics right now.
That's how I get down.
We can talk about this all show long, and we'll definitely get back to it. You be sure to hit us up and let us know your thought. Was LeBron James's actions, was that saucy or bossy? I say saucy.
I think it was bossy.
Okay,
with a little bit of sauce on it.
Because
you got to have some sauce.
Got to throw a little bit of sauce.
A little bit of sauce.
What's next?
Okay, so obviously you were at the NFL Combine, so you were right there on the sidelines. And a lot of heat is coming out of this talking about Shedeur Sanders specifically. Let's stay on the topic of, you know, the sons of the
Coach Prime.
Coach Prime. You know, we can't mention Shedeur without mentioning his father, Deion Sanders.
Yes.
Now, we have NFL insiders telling us that some coaches, specifically an assistant coach, referred to Shedeur Sanders as brash and arrogant. Now, another NFL insider saying that this is completely opposite of what he saw of Sanders, being that he felt as though Sanders was very professional when talking to the reporters during the NFL conference and combine situation taking place. Do we think that this is bossy or saucy? Because now this is being linked to Shedeur Sanders.
That's right.
And his standing. And this could really impact where he ends up going, what teams may pick him up, because this is now a headline that people are thinking that he is brash and arrogant.
Sure. Let me preface this in which I'm going to look at this from the angle of the business of the NFL. And so if we're looking at the alleged quarterbacks coach who made these statements, I'm going to say that it is a bossy statement, but I'm going to say that under the premise that NFL organizations do these things all the time, especially around this time of the year. It's called throwing smoke screens out there. They want for an athlete to be devalued so that that athlete may still be around where they're picking. Allegedly, and shout out to Josina Anderson, who is the one who broke this story. You can read her article on this as she breaks this down. This was allegedly a position coach who was of a team that was in the top 7. Now, you never say that a team is in the top 7 unless they're number 7, right? Because if they're in the top 5, you say that. So probably number 7. If you're at number 7, you don't know whether Shedeur is still going to be there at that level. So if you float a little bit out there about his character, some character issues,
I see what's going on
maybe he drops down that board there. So even though I don't like it at all, I think it was a bossy move by this coordinator.
Okay, I see what they're doing. They're putting out these fake ideas, fake things going on, so other teams necessarily won't want to pick them and be like, you know what, Shedeur, we wanted you all along.
There we go. We wanted you all along. Surprise! There we go.
Yeah. You know, I love that you're here as the professional. You know what this looks like. You know what that means.
I was at the Combine.
You were there.
I was there in Indianapolis myself. There we go. There we go.
But for the naked eye and anyone who might be a fan, they may not know these logistical things that are happening and why somebody would throw dirt on a player so they could potentially get them later.
Sure.
I wish that the person that would have said this about Shedeur would have put their name on it. You know what I mean?
Want receipts here.
I want receipts on it. If you feel like this young man is brash, honestly, what's so brash about him? Is it because his diamonds were dancing?
You got them chains
you know
on.
I mean? Is that what it is?
Okay.
But no one reported that while Shedeur was actually there, that he actually assisted with another player who felt nervous and anxious. So what
Will
about
Howard, the Ohio State quarterback?
You know what I mean? Yes. So what about that is arrogant? What about that is brash? You know, especially as a black quarterback, it is difficult to get rid of those things that are said about you. So although it is a professional play, so you can potentially, you know, have him on your roster at some point, are you actually tarnishing this young man's name and something that he's worked very hard to do?
His character. Because this is bringing in his character.
You get what I'm saying? And I don't think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't think it's appropriate.
To the point that you're making there, again, the idea, especially for our younger fans that are watching, the idea, if we're being real, of black quarterbacks in the masses leading organizations is a relatively new idea. I know that Lamar Jackson broke through a lot of barriers. Were there black quarterbacks before Lamar Jackson? There were, but Lamar Jackson was kind of the first authentic quarterback to step on the stage and be himself without any fear of repercussions coming from that. And now you've got more and more of those individuals stepping into it. So when you got a Shedeur Sanders who comes from money, who through NIL has made his own money.
Who's training with Tom Brady.
That's right.
His skills are undeniable.
That's right.
You know, so if you are going to call him brash and arrogant, provide some details, provide some examples of that versus throwing these things out there. Because what they're out there, it's out there.
It's out there.
It's in headlines all over the internet now.
It's out there. So you believe that an assessment in that way of a Shedeur Sanders is more so Shedeur representing the culture and that being taken the wrong way?
Oh, for sure.
100.
For sure.
All right. All right. Sil says on behalf of the coordinator, she says that was Saucy. I say that it was Bossy, but with a pretense on that. All right. We got one more. We got about 1 minute left. Give it to us.
Okay, so Angel Reese, of course, we know her as, you know, the Bio Barbie.
That's right. Or the Be More Barbie from up the way.
Barbie.
There we go.
She's right on the corner of DMV, but only when it's Angel Reese because, you know, Baltimore is not necessarily DMV. Gotcha. But, you know, she does play for the Chicago Sky, and currently the WNBA is working on getting these contracts together. They're working on putting the money on the table.
All right.
And Angel Reese is one of many WNBA stars who's basically speaking up and saying, you know, if we are not paid what we deserve or what we are worth, honestly, and what our skill set is, then we are willing to go into a potential lockout as an organization.
I love it. I love it.
What do we think?
I think this is a bossy move. I think it's a bossy move, a bossy statement by Angel Reese. Shout out to Angel Reese.
Shout out to Angel Reese.
Shout out
the rookie.
The rookie, second-year athlete now who came onto the scene and really turned the whole game around. When Angel was in college, the NIL deals that she was getting was comparable to the men out there because of the brand that she had built. She brought that brand to the W and also played as well. 3/4 of the way through, she was looking like a Rookie of the Year candidate alongside Caitlin Clark there. She and Caitlin really helped to elevate a league that was already building itself, making money, more attendance, more views, more this, that, the other, all across the board. So the women do deserve to get paid. Because still, right now, many of these women are playing in a secondary league because they have to keep working throughout the year to make their money.
Let's not talk about the NBA views being down.
Yeah, that's true too.
Drastically down. Very low. So I think the WNBA do deserve to be paid what they deserve, but we're wondering, will that happen? You know what I mean? Are we in a place where we can see the WNBA being paid closer to their counterparts over there in the NBA?
So we've been on the same page this far, but I think that now is when it is that we get into a little bit of a disagreement. I think that right now is when we hit that crossroads. Because yes, the women deserve to get paid. They're coming out here. They're putting that W on the map in a way that they've never been on the map before, but still. When you start talking about at the same level as the men, this is not anything about gender. This has nothing to do about the sex of the athlete. This is all about business. It's all about the numbers.
Exactly.
Even though the W is on the incline, the NBA may be on the decline, there's still a large gap in between them.
Yes. I love that you brought in numbers because in that case, in that regard, does that mean that we should start reducing the salaries of the NBA players because their numbers are skylining? They're taking a dive. The WNBA is heading up, so why can't we actually raise their salaries and decrease these folks' salaries over here? Because the numbers are telling us that we're seeing something different. We're seeing some fandom in the WNBA. We're seeing a rise. With the NBA, we're seeing a decline. Should we also take away their salary a little bit?
I understand.
I don't know.
I'm going to
questions that need answers potentially.
Questions that need answers, and we can revisit this again next week. And I'll give you the final word. My last word. Then I'll give you the final one. My last word is that NBA, those NBA contracts that continue to go up. There's going to be players making $90 million a year coming up, but a lot of that money comes from the television deals that
That's
they're
true.
getting.
That is true.
And we experience this here as you're watching us right now on Fox Local that is streaming. As more streaming platforms come around and more of those games come around, it might look like the viewers are not there because it's measured in a different way. We know this here, but the viewership and the TV deal that the NBA got is what is profiting these players a lot. So as the W begins to get those deals as well, they'll be able to make that money too.
Yeah, ultimately what I do love about this is that there are these younger players who are coming into the WNBA who have all this attention on them, who have the NIL deals, as you mentioned, and they are using their platforms to continue to advocate for these entities who have already been advocating and fighting this fight anyway. So hopefully we can see more young athletes stepping into the forefront and trying to push that narrative forward, because obviously equal pay is needed. Equal pay is needed.
Sil, you have been absolutely phenomenal. This is our first iteration of Bossy or Saucy with Sil. You get a 5, and as you get ready to walk out of the door, we're talking about young ladies doing the daggone thing at the highest level. I'm going to take you back to my story earlier this week where we had Jump DC, an outstanding double Dutch troupe from right here in the nation's capital. They performed at Howard University. Take a look. He looks absolutely awesome, and joining me are the ladies of Jump DC. Now, the ladies of Jump DC are a nationally acclaimed competitive double Dutch and troupe. I'd heard about these young ladies, but I had a chance to see them in action here today. I talked to them before their halftime performance and asked them what this troupe meant to them and what tonight's performance said about this team.
As a young girl, I was really shy, and Jump DC has really helped me find myself as a person.
I'm a little nervous because it's my first time, but a little confident. I feel like everything's gonna go good.
Now, maybe they felt a little nervous in advance, but things did indeed go even more than good. The young ladies of Jump DC put on an absolute show tonight. They had the bird rocking. Yeah, the lights were bright and the stage was big, but these young ladies were ready for the moment. They brought the dance, they brought the technique, they brought the athleticism, and they brought the crowd to their feet. But most importantly, they brought the community together. As the kids would say, the girls from Jump DC, they ate, bro. Tonight, they asked Director of Athletics Carrie Davis what it means to HU to host this competitive double Dutch team.
Oh man, this is great to see these young people. Double Dutch is something that's part of our culture. I'm from the Bronx, and my aunt had a double Dutch group 40 years ago that traveled around the world. Italy, Germany, France, right? And just spreading the culture and legacy of black people in our community. Yeah, so I'd love to see these young kids still doing it, right? Double Dutch will be here for a long time.
Go. It is the ladies of Jump DC. What a great night. What a great performance. My only unfortunate part is I didn't get to jump with them, but we'll do that again later. A truly special troupe. It was a great night. Back to you all.
I think, Chad, if you tried anything that they were trying, your pants would have ripped. I don't think you can.
We are here at Sidwell Friends School, the home of the Quakers boys tennis program. This is a pro team that has won state championships, so I asked them if they could teach me the fundamentals of the game.
Every starts with a serve or return, the two most basic components of tennis.
First, we began with the serve. Now, I learned the importance of technique, keeping my base square and following through with power.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah! Now, I'm not going to say I was necessarily a pro, but I'm sure I could handle some student athlete somewhere. Maybe at my son's school. He's 5.
Well, I think that your technique was taught to you very well, and I think that there was definitely some aspects of a natural affinity for a big serve, big guy like you getting really over the net.
I can see that you're an athlete. That was a great first start. We got to get you some more quality reps. and you'll be beating people in no time.
Now it was time to hone the skills of the forehand and the backhand. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I was basically Andre Agassi off the jump. I mean, Arthur Ashe ain't got nothing on me. Steffi Graf just slid into my DMs. She didn't. That was just a TV joke. Either way, my talent was unmistakable, bro. One might think 43 is a little old to be getting started, but when you got the game of Pete Sampras, sky is the limit.
Yeah, we'll do it. I could definitely see, I touched the backhand, I could definitely see some technique in there. I could definitely see a little natural talent.
I don't know. I mean, you almost, took me out, took a couple of other people out, so, I mean, still a work in progress, but, you'll get there eventually, I think. A bunch of practice, and yeah.
So maybe I'm not ready to be a tour pro just yet, but the boys here at Sidwell School, they are ready to compete for a state championship. The season starts next week. Back to you all. And coming up the And we're back here at LoudAF. Definitely want to give a huge shout out to Sidwell Tennis, who brought me in, taught me the fundamentals of playing the game of tennis. I'm telling you, y'all, young Andre Agassi out there, Pete Sampras, Steffi Graf, Michael Chang, and all of the above. Maybe none of those people. I don't really play the game very well at all, but thank you. Big time shout out to Sidwell. Big time shout out to Jump DC. Outstanding young ladies and outstanding culture and community, getting it done on a national platform. They had an opportunity to perform at Howard University versus Norfolk State again just a couple of nights ago. But now it's time to move on to our main guest, who is coming into a building. You know him from social media. You know him from Commanders games all across the country. You know him as the one and only Road Warrior! My brother, Road, thank you for stopping by LoudAF, bro.
Man, I appreciate it. Appreciate you, man. I'm here.
All right, well, now, I know you've been here, and not only have you been here, but you've been everywhere with the Washington Commanders, with this fan base, representing like a true fan should. I want to take you back to the beginning, though. When did you become a Washington football fan, and how did this love come about?
Man, I became a fan from my grandfather. Rest in peace to Rudy, right?
Yeah.
So, since I was a kid, it's just the love and the energy that the family.
Wow.
I'm a fan because of the family. I'm from the city.
Yeah,
I'm really from here.
You really from here.
I'm from here.
We have that conversation all the time because there's a lot of transplants, a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people that are becoming Washington Commanders fans nowadays. But for the individuals such as yourself that have been a part of this for years and years and years, what did it mean to you looking at this team this year as they got back to those winning ways? They've been bad for so long to get back to winning. What was that like?
Man, it was crazy, right? Because, look, I never seen this.
That's right, man.
So it's like, it's new.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been there since 0-17.
Woo, boy.
2 and whatever.
That's
3.
right. Yeah.
And now we here. We
here now, bro.
I can't believe it. So it's like, it's new.
Yeah.
And only thing it's going to do is get better.
And only getting better. Now, speaking of getting better, because what I've had an opportunity to see here this year with my own eyes and covering this game, this team from the fans' eyes, that's what we did here at Fox 5. That was what I thought made us different, is because we wanted to come to individuals such as yourself and have you tell us how them winning made you feel, how Jaden Daniels had made you feel, how Dan Quinn made you feel. We weren't doing that boring sideline stuff that some of the other people were doing. We came to the people like yourself, but you, one of the biggest and highest profile individuals out there, you are the Road Warrior. How did you create this? How did it come about?
So one of my good friends, right, Greg Toller, he used to play with when we was a Redskins, he used to play with the Redskins.
Yeah.
So a couple of me and my good friends, one of them got married. My man, E, Ernest.
Wow.
Ernest got married, and Scooby, he had his baby. So before that, we was going to game, supporting our friends, just going to the game, just supporting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just give us the tickets, or family and friends, just give us the tickets.
Sure.
So when they give us the tickets, we just go support. So we started going to all the games. So we man, like this is a little different.
Sure.
We got a little, it's a little group.
You got a little something going on here,
so
yeah.
we need to come up with a name.
Sure.
So we was at the Detroit game one time. I was like, man, we need to come up with a name. So we was just throwing names out, this playing. I say, man, we should call ourselves the Road Warriors.
That makes sense.
And Scoob, He stopped going to the game, and Ernest stopped going to the game, and I just kept going.
And you kept going, bro.
And I'm the road warrior.
And you the road warrior. Now, look, not only are you the road warrior for the people.
For the people.
For the people, the road warrior for the people.
You see what that say?
Oh, for the people. Show the people. For the people. This allowed for you, again, to not only go to these games, not only to be a super fan, but you have met personally Jaden Daniels. You've talked to him. You've met personally Josh Harris. You've put a towel on him and everything else. You've met all of these players. You've had all of these connections. I can't imagine what that must be like.
Man, that's amazing, man. Mm-hmm. I used to talk about stuff like this, right? Woo. And now it's here. It's like, it ain't really too much to say, because it's like, I look in the contact list, I'm like, man, I really got, like, I could call these people,
right?
Man, like, for real, like, I could call you, like, it's like, it's amazing, man, just to be from here.
That's right.
And just be one of the ones,
that's
like,
right.
Like, that came from nothing, and like, really tap in with so many good people, and it's like, it ain't about all that, it's about the energy.
Wow.
And that's all it's about, the people.
Wow.
That's why I keep saying for the people.
For the people.
Yeah.
What is, just to give us a glimpse on the inside, what's Jaden Daniels like? We see him out there, cool, calm, collected, game-winning, touchdown drives. What's he like when he's off the field?
Jaden Daniels, he humble.
Wow.
He real humble.
Yeah.
He one of the ones.
He is one of the
ones.
He's
special. He don't get all hype. Like, I sent him out to the Hail Murray.
Right.
He ain't anybody else like, man, we going out tonight.
Right. That's right.
I've been around all, like, Trent Williams, all of them. Man, like, we going out tonight.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, man, I'm going home, man.
I'm going home.
I'm going home. I'm going to get ready for the next game.
Wow.
I'm about to go get on the system. You know, he play video games.
And he do the VR to get better all the time. It's a testament. That means that the stories that we've heard about Jaden being up at 4 o'clock first in the facility, that those things are true. He goes home after those big games. What about Josh Harris? What was your takeaway at the meeting, Josh, and the rest of the Josh Harris ownership group?
Man, Josh Harris, he different. Man, I never, like, to be honest, with Dan, I knew who Dan was, right? But I never met Dan. And for, like, this ownership to come in and take me as one of them, as a family, it hit different. And it's special because it's like, they family.
That's right.
Like, Josh Harris, Mark N, all of them, man. It's just like, all of them. It's like, it ain't really too much I can say. It's just like, it's special.
Yeah.
Just to hit them up anytime, and they did for me. It's just like, it hit different.
And I think that's what makes this group, this entire organization so special, is that you are for the people, and it appears as though they came in. And Josh Harris, that most of that ownership group is from here in the DMV, and they came in with a desire to give back to the community and to bring the community back into this Commanders organization, and that's something that the fans can feel.
And they understand it. They understand us.
Yeah.
They understand us. They understand the people. They just understand it. It's just crazy because, like all these years, Dan Snyder had this team. Nobody never met Dan Snyder.
Wow.
I've been in areas with Dan, but it's like I never shook Dan Snyder hand. All this love I do for the people, and it's like I'm getting recognized. It's crazy, and I respect it. And it's like that's what make me go even harder.
It's different.
It hit different. And sometimes I be like, man, do I keep going?
That's right.
Do I keep going?
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to keep going and keep pushing.
That's right. That's right.
Because I'm here.
And you representing the people. And again, I think that was turning point A. Before even Jaden Daniels, before DQ, it was the idea to give this team back to the people of the DMV. I think that means a lot. I ask you this before we get you out of here. Free agency starts next week. What would you like to see of this Commanders team in free agency?
My free agency, right? I just want to see us build, right? Mm-hmm. I put the power in the hands of Adam Peter, right? I let them
Shout out AP.
I let them do what they do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna sit back on the sideline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Drink my coffee.
Yeah.
And just be calm.
That's what's up.
See what they do. But be honest, I seen what we did. We got Depot.
Yeah.
The match Terry.
Yeah.
But you don't even know what type of Depot you're gonna get because Depot may match Eckler.
He might be in the backfield, right? Yeah.
So it's like we're gonna be good on that. But I just want to see us build the front line. But the front line did good this year, so I ain't taking nothing from nobody. So the front line did good. But the only thing I really want to see is like a solid like front line for the defense and a solid front line for the offense, because we just got rid of Jonathan Allen.
Yep.
So it's like we need some DNs because we ain't really have a solid.
Got to get
DN.
that pass rush consistent.
We ain't have a really solid DN since Sweat.
Yeah.
So it's like we could get a solid DN. We got the locker room. We got Louvu and all them in the locker room. They gonna hold it down.
Yep.
So for real, what I really want to see, I just want to see a team.
Yeah.
We don't need no superstars.
We need no superstars.
I just want to see a team, and I just want to see them connect the dots. And the dots are already connected. We just missing like a little pieces out the puzzle. And when you put that puzzle together, that puzzle gonna connect. And when it connect, we there.
It's gonna be powerful.
It's powerful.
Road Warrior, thank you very much. Shout out to Seal, shout out to Sidwell, shout out to Jump DC. I appreciate you, brother.
Man, I appreciate you.
And we appreciate you all for watching Loud AF.
Road Warrior for the people.